British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has pledged immigration levels will be cut if he wins the general election on Thursday, referencing Australia's immigration system as a guide for his own government. Mr Johnson guaranteed to place restrictions on Britain's intake after it leaves the European Union. The EU allows citizens to have free movement to live and work in any member nations, but Mr Johnson says they should contribute to the country.
Bear down on migration, particularly of unskilled workers who have no job to come to. And I think that's what's happened over the last couple of decades or more. The numbers will come down because we'll be able to control the system in that way. And what I don't think is right is to have an uncontrolled and unlimited approach to that.
Mr Johnson also said that a leaked document claiming checks would be needed on goods travelling across the Irish border is wrong. Sam Coates has more.
The Prime Minister is being pressed on the detail of what his Brexit plans, in both cases, will mean. Now, first of all, on the question of exactly the relationship between Great Britain and Northern Ireland under Boris Johnson's Brexit plan. This is an issue that came up because on Friday the Labour Party published some leaked internal government documents written by the Treasury, here they are, in which they say that the relationship between Great Britain and Northern Ireland is going to change under Boris Johnson's Brexit deal because Northern Ireland is going to be more closely aligned to the EU, and that's going to mean some kind of additional processes and checks and bureaucratic hurdles, according to this document. Now, the Prime Minister was absolutely categorical, suggesting that that simply won't happen, checks won't happen, perhaps with one exception that he mentioned, which was some types of goods going from Great Britain to Northern Ireland before they go into the Republic and therefore of Ireland and therefore into the European Union. The question is he right? Well, we've been talking to experts this morning, experts including those from the Centre for European Reform. They're quite clear that there will be, under Boris Johnson's Brexit plan, regulatory checks on things like animal products entering Northern Ireland from Great Britain. There will be customs-related bureaucratic hurdles facing businesses trading in both directions. Now, the Centre for European Reform says that this may or may not constitute checks in the Prime Minister's mind, but they certainly mean goods traded between Northern Ireland and Great Britain will not be as free as they are today. Even though it's the final week of the election campaign, politicians from across the spectrum making perhaps bigger admissions than you might expect at this stage. Jonathan Ashworth also suggesting that Jeremy Corbyn, like Boris Johnson, is an issue that comes up on the doorstep. Jo Swinson, when interviewed by Sophie Ridge on Sunday, admitted that she was only technically now a candidate to be Prime Minister. She started off this campaign saying that she hoped to be in number 10 at the end of it. And Nigel Farage on the same programme also saying that the Brexit Party leader saying that actually wasn't terribly happy with Boris Johnson's Brexit deal after all, having given it a semi-endorsement at the start of this campaign. So a few evolving positions even now, so close to polling day. It's going to be fascinating to see how the last few days pan out.